One of the things that comes with knowing that you're on a countdown clock to your last day means you get to be really ruthless about the things you want to do and the things that you don't want to do.
Today's just one of those days where there's so much that happens, like unnecessarily in one day, that it's so hard not to want to make 3, 4, 5 videos about today. But instead, we're just going to jam pack everything into this singular video. So I don't say this too often, but I do hope sincerely that you stick around for the entire duration of this video so you don't miss a single beat. We are taking a look at Justin Trudeau saying that in a weird speech that he has to be more ruthless because his time as prime minister is coming to an end. So he basically is in that mode of I don't give a shit, which is scary because the way he's always acted is kind of in that mode. Then you also have the government of Canada that is pretty much deleting all records, like total social media and total internet blackout on all of the corruption, all the money that they've been laundering into these weird ass programs. $20 million to Africa to get them to stop pooping on beaches, $78 million here, $5 million to African LGBTQ. Like, it's just so freaking bizarre. The government of Canada, Global Affairs, shut down the website. Very, very, very strange. And then if we have time, we're going to be taking a look at how Justin Trudeau and Canadian politicians are still bracing for the fact that tariffs are really going to happen and that we could actually end up in a trade war with America. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, everybody. Before we get into it, I do want to encourage y'all to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It does really help grow the channel. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting off with this photo right here. This is someone who I believe is going to be working with Pierre Poilievre. This Chad right here on the left, he's an ex-cop or is still a police officer, and he's working side by side with Pierre. That is absolutely insane to basically have a no tolerance for criminals. And it's just, this is a pretty cool photo. This is absolutely very, very cool. You don't see this type of atmosphere. What? Do I smell burnt toast? Atmosphere from the Liberals. But and now let's just stop looking at that and let's take a look at this guy. The opposite, the total opposite of the spectrum. Okay, so for context, this speech that he's about to give, this is partway through the speech. This is at yesterday's Black History Month reception. Black History Month. And this is his final Black History Month as Prime Minister. Here we go. Let's take a look.
I have to admit, my friends, I'm a little bit emotional tonight. One of the things that comes with knowing that you're on a countdown clock to your last day means you get to be really ruthless about the things you want to do and the things that you don't want to do. And let me tell you, if I am here tonight with you all, it's because, man, oh man, did I want to see you guys to celebrate one last Black History Month as Prime Minister. It has been the honor and the pleasure of my life to work alongside you, to be there with you, to learn from you, to grow with you, and to count especially on incredible Black MPs and Black members of staff and team who have been incredible in being voices for this community from coast to coast to coast, lifting you up and making sure this government did better. My God, the privilege that I've had of serving these past 9.5 years, serving all Canadians, but particularly serving this community, is one that I will never, ever forget. It has been the joy of my life. It has been a deep privilege to call you all friends. And to
I genuinely wonder how many people in that crowd Justin Trudeau knows. To call a group of strangers friends is just, I don't know, it's a little weird to me as the Prime Minister.
Recognize that there is still so much work for you all to do. And I'm going to be on a beach somewhere, right? No, I'll still be around, but there is.
That's just so. Did he just Don Cherry people? Like, hey, black people out in the audience. Hey, all of you out there. Yeah. You people have a lot more work to do. I'm going to go on vacation because I'm done. I'm retiring. But all of you people, I don't know, kind of weird. I was taking a look at this before I was going to record a video, and I was like, yeah, let's just throw that in and shine a light on how kind of weird Trudeau still is. But he's going to get weirder, and he's going to amp things up because, as you heard from the start of that speech, his clock is ticking, and he's going to be more ruthless. Anyways, switching things over to some actual more scandals that are taking place right under Justin Trudeau's nose. Global Affairs Canada, who works under Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly, has suddenly wiped out their entire public database of foreign aid spending, and the data is no longer available to the public. Now, a lot of people took screenshots and videos, which is something we're going to be taking a look at in right now. The so-called Team Canada took all your hard-earned money and sent it overseas and erased the database of such fraudulent activities. Team Canada, there is 1,732 records. And you can see here, man, like, this is so crazy. $5 million sent to government of Jordan for accelerating access initiatives for AA. Okay, I don't know if that's Alcoholics Anonymous, but then you have 75 million in Jordan for education for Jordan prosperity, 31 million to the government of Jordan for education on Jordan's prosperity again, another 6 million to the government of Jordan. And this just goes on and on. Like, we're going to take a look at some of these here because they're absolutely freaking insane. Here you go. We got a video of someone who went through it and just screenshotted everything. $3.7 million to the World Health Organization, a health security partnership to strengthen disease surveillance and epidemic intelligence in Africa. $7 million to the Plan International Canada, a gender responsive systems approach to universal health care in the Philippines. Okay. $750,000 to the Canada Manthar Education Trust, a community approach to gender equitable education. 18 million to the Mennonite Economic Development Associates of Canada. 18 million colleges and institutes Canada, previously named ACCC. Then you got all that weird money that's going to the government of Jordan. I mean, guys, this is freaking bizarre. And you click on them and you can see just the write-ups of it, how much the original budget was and the planned disbursement. Like, it's so freaking weird. And people, as we're even talking about this right now, people are uncovering even more. Like, this is going to be coming out for some time. Is it the government that was actually trying to be malicious and shut down this and maybe change things? We don't know. It seems to be that way. Maybe there's going to be a new development even as the video is being uploaded or right after it's uploaded. Who knows? But this is so freaking bizarre. And everybody's freaking talking about it, man. Let me know down in the comments if you've seen this, if you've looked through the database, maybe you've seen like a weird ass amount of money, like millions of dollars being spent to, like, what's the weirdest thing you've seen? Like, let me know down in the comments. Or what's the weirdest thing that you think we're spending our money on? Because it's pretty bad. It's pretty freaking incredible how wild we've been just throwing money at things. No wonder Canada's a mess. Why aren't we paying the country of Jordan? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why are we paying people to stop pooping on beaches in Africa? Who cares? That's Africa's problem. Why is Canada spending all of our money on stuff that has literally nothing to do with us? Like, it's super, super corrupt and super, super mismanaged. Then you've got this post here that says, Team Canada, where's your outrage now? Global Affairs, which is the equivalent of USAID, wiped out their entire database. The government of Canada does not want you to know that your tax dollars were washed and laundered amongst the elites. Where's the accountability for the Trudeau Liberals and the NDP? Where? If I do not see protests over this, then spare me with your faux outrage. Okay, well, I mean, obviously keep it peaceful if you do decide to go protest, but this is like an ongoing development. And I think that we're going to start to see like hundreds of billions of dollars. Someone's going to tally it up. Someone's going to come up with like the craziest thing. We're probably funding activities and organizations that are very harmful to Canada. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. I mean, we're so spread out. We're like a rebellious kid with a father's like trust fund credit card. Like we're just spending money on the craziest things. And at the end, now we're seeing what's on that credit card bill. And it's like, oh, you were just being malicious. Like none of this makes sense. You just wanted to spend. You made quick friends around the world. And you're like, oh, hey, look, I could give you a bunch of money for absolutely nothing other than the fact that I want to, or maybe you're giving me something in return. Super, super, super weird. But now let's take a look here at what Canada's response is into these possible trade war, tariffs that could be in effect as of March 1st. Justin Trudeau sat down with some mayors, or addressed some mayors across Canada. And well, let's take a look at some of these videos, shall we?
Canadian officials are operating as if Donald Trump's tariffs will go into effect on March the 3rd, and with the threat of a trade war hanging over us. The Prime Minister met today with big city mayors. Key cabinet ministers are providing updates on their meetings in Washington, and preparations are underway for Friday's Canada-U.S. summit. There is also movement on policing the Canada-U.S. border, and a negative side effect to those possible tariffs, companies preemptively laying off workers. We begin our coverage with CTV's Mike LeCouture on today's developments and more. Mike.
Well, Sandy, as the clock continues to tick on the new tariff deadline, politicians at all levels are attempting to insulate their economies in case U.S. President Donald Trump follows through on his threat. Behind the handshakes and camaraderie is concern over punishing tariffs. The Prime Minister huddled with the mayors of Canada's largest cities to make a plan for a possible trade war with the U.S. And Justin Trudeau wants them to leverage relationships across the border.
You are the ones who decide whether your lucrative procurement contract goes to a firm in Moose Jaw or Montana. You are the ones who put local diplomacy in action.
The mayors are already doing that type of work.
We can arm the Team Canada approach with real on-the-ground examples of how tariffs will hurt our local economy.
Even the threat of tariffs already is. Montreal-based Sheartex is laying off 40% of its staff because the tights manufacturer says additional costs could be too much to bear.
This could have massive tens of millions of dollar impact on our financial forecast.
Mr. Greer, I would welcome you.
The tariff impact on American businesses was highlighted during the confirmation hearings for Donald Trump's new trade representative. However, Jamieson Greer brought it back to the border.
The action that the president is talking about is about fentanyl, where we don't want another single fentanyl death.
Keen to show work is being done, Mounties went public with 3 recent incidents where they intercepted migrants at the Canada-U.S. border. In an interview on CTV's Power Play, the RCMP commissioner said 35% more personnel have been moved to the border from other areas.
We have to be flexible as an organization, and this is not different for any law enforcement, to be able to redeploy resources to a priority with minimal impact on what we're doing.
The commissioner says it's a delicate balance, but he insists the shift in resources will not impact public safety in other areas. Sandy?
Okay, Mike, thank you.
Why is the government of Canada trying to get mayors ready for a trade war? The government of Canada should be tackling 100% the issues that are causing a potential trade war. Go after that. The only reason that Donald Trump waited till the 12th hour to actually call Justin Trudeau and say, you know what? Let's talk about this, Justin, because the plan was already figured out in the middle of December. The only reason he waited until the last freaking hour was because he wanted to make sure that Trudeau was actually doing those things. And it wasn't just optics. I say I'm going to do them. No. Do them right now, or we're seriously going to do this. You got 30 more days, kid. Make it happen. It seems like they're already taking action. They're already sending people there. So that's good. Shouldn't take very long to do that. They've already sent choppers there. That's good. Okay. Things are in motion. We should be good. We should not have tariffs on, because the economic, backlash from that is it's going to hurt both our countries. And he's a businessman. Trump's a businessman. So I don't think that tariffs are going to be on if we actually do those things. So talking to mayors and preparing for a trade war. I mean, are you seriously not confident in doing the job and getting the job done? You shouldn't be focusing on that at all, especially not publicly. I mean, that's absurd. Look at the approach that trigger happy, donut eating, obese with power, Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, approached the trade war. I mean, he already started to tear up a $100 or $200 million Starlink contract for the province. He said, take all the American liquor off the shelves immediately before the trade war, before the original deadline even came to fruition. I mean, the guy is freaking nuts. These people are trigger happy. They just want to do something. They want their legacy to be, I did that. And instead of that being a good thing, they want it to be something that's not good, just something big, right? A huge disaster of some sorts. And that's scary. And so the fact that I would have told, if I was a mayor and Trudeau was there talking to me, I would have said, dude, shut up, do your job. Stop trying to get us to prepare for a trade war. Go do your job. You shouldn't be talking to mayors, trying to tell mayors how they have authority to handle any sort of trade war. That's absolutely insane. Who gives a shit? Let the mayors freaking run their cities. You deal with the country. This is a federal issue. What's a mayor in a random town going to do for a trade war with terrorists? Doesn't make any sense. Unless I'm missing something, but that's my perspective, and I would absolutely love to know yours. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the video. I would love to know what your guys' thoughts and opinions are about any of the topics that were covered. And as always, if you did like the video, I would like to encourage you guys to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all later on. Bye for now.